Okay, so there's something wrong with studio audio because I did some rewiring today, and yep, never ever do that before a stream, and this is what happened. So I couldn't play my trailer music just now. It was quite unfortunate, but it is what it is, and let's just move on. All right, so I'm gonna try to have to take a look at that later on. Anyway, good afternoon and good evening to anyone who's watching right now. I know some people are still in the afternoon because it's like 4 hours behind us, I think, or 5 hours, assuming that they're still online right now. But it's good to see everyone again. It's been a while since I last did a live stream because I've been doing a lot of work and I've been doing some other changes around the home studio. I just installed some APC units for power because there's been a few power trips in the house thanks to the recabling efforts of some of the construction workers in the building. But it's just unfortunate, and I just didn't have the capacity to tell them not to do rewiring. So the next best thing I can do is hopefully by installing this, I can at least have some juice to safeguard my system in case there's an immediate shutdown. Um, just want to check with you guys if you guys can hear me clearly because audio has been quite funky tonight. Even just now during the pre-flight checks, we did some tests and it wasn't really that fantastic. Now I know the trailer didn't play well. I'm trying out several new things to make sure things are working fine. James says he can hear me. He can hear me loud and clear. Fantastic. Okay, great. Because right now there's virtually no monitor sounds, which is kind of weird. But hopefully, this will be resolved by the next stream. I did some tests just now. It was working, and it just failed again, just a while ago. I don't know why, but it is what it is. But anyway, we're gonna have a very special guest today, as always. For this evening, we're gonna have someone from Singapore this time. Well, he's based in Singapore, and he's been a part of family in Singapore for so long already. And you know what? A lot of photographers out there owe it to him for the magical touch that he has provided onto their gear. So we're gonna talk to Mr. David Hilos, and we're gonna find out a little bit more about what makes him tick. And of course, as usual, I need to do some shout outs before the show begins. And so this is where we go with my own social media platforms, and we're just gonna get the bot to say a few words.
Satellite link established.
Yes, James. The bigger the computer, the more bugs inside. That's right. So the thing about streaming is that once you fix something, something else will break down, and it's just unfortunate. Okay, so this is just part and parcel of the streaming life. Right now, the thing is, I just want to make sure that my Synology drives are working fine. Apparently, one of them is not. So that's another thing I need to look into as well. But I've got a technician coming over the weekend to help me out with that as well. So anyway, as always, social media shoutouts. So this is my website. There we go. Gosh, the button's a bit sticky today also. All right, so I don't know. Did I press the button correctly? I think I missed it. I don't know. Okay, so this is my personal website. So of course, right now we are in phase 2 of the circuit breaker. So people like myself are able to go out and shoot again. So if you guys are looking for photographers, hit me up. All right. So, and of course, this is my Facebook page. Some of you guys actually found out about tonight's stream through this page as well. The latest works that I have done will be uploaded here as well. Anytime there's a shout out for a new episode of the Amazing Live Show will be on as well. And for those of you guys joining in or first time joining and watching this stream, welcome to the Amazing Live Show, the photography talk show for photographers by photographers. I'm your host, Mizami. And of course, anytime I have a special deal with some of the brands I'm affiliated with or working with, I'll definitely share them on my Facebook page as well. And of course, every single every single man, where do we stand now? I want to say millennial, but that's not cool. Okay, everyone who is social media savvy will probably have a Twitter account, and never mind. I wanted to say something, but I think it's kind of mean. But basically, Twitter is where you can also reach out to me as well. We can actually have a nice little chat over there. I'm quite responsive over on Twitter as well. But yeah, I prefer Twitter, to be honest, because this is where people are able to encapsulate their thoughts in just 160 or maybe I think now 280 characters. So it's a lot more less of a naggy feel as opposed to Facebook. Yeah, so if you guys want to chat with me, Twitter is the way to go. I don't really like Facebook these days, to be honest. There's just too much going on. A lot of political discussions, a lot of polarization in beliefs, and I don't know. Twitter, at least, it's a little bit more friendly on the eyes and the ears, I feel. Anyway, for those of you guys who have just tuned in for the first time, and perhaps you have missed out on previous episodes of the Amazing Life Show, you can actually head over to my YouTube channel. This is where you can watch the previous episodes of the Amazing Life Show, as well as catch some of my image breakdowns that I do for my composites, and my behind the scenes videos for some of my previous shoots as well. And for those of you guys who actually have Instagram, yep, I do have an Instagram account. Not so active, to be honest, these days. Again, Instagram and Facebook, you start to see there's a kind of like a relationship here, right? I'm kind of distancing myself away from Facebook and Instagram, to be honest. It's just, I don't know, doesn't resonate well with me these days. Can't tell you the reason why. Perhaps one day I have a more concrete way of putting it across. Maybe I'll share it with you guys. All right. But anyway, this is my Twitch channel. So if you guys are actually watching the Twitch stream here, this is where you should be watching it anyway. You can actually toggle between quality for the video. You can actually go up to 1080p or to 1440p, I think. There you go, 1440p is available as well. Depending on your bandwidth, if you can't, then it's fine. You can still watch it at 720p or 480p. But I just want to draw attention to this new link over here at the bottom. As of last week, I've been recognized as a Secret Lab affiliate, so you can actually use this link over here, or even head over to the QR code over here. Just scan it in on your camera phone if you're keen to buy a new Secret Lab chair. So I do make a commission out of this affiliate link, but the commission is actually all for a good cause, because I'll be working on some projects, and I'm also still supporting the love coaching project on a personal basis. So, you know, for those of you guys who actually watched some of the one of the previous episodes where we actually talked about how we can help the love coaching project, which is a community group supporting cats at a cattery. Yeah, I was trying to figure out what's the term. They call it cattery. So the cattery is actually a place where you actually have cats, and they look after sick and old cats, and they take in some of the strays, I think, and they're all run by volunteers. So I've been contributing to them on a monthly basis, and I hope to do more. And of course, I do have some secret projects that also require some fundings, and I think this affiliate link is one of the ways that you can show support for the stream as well. And of course, for those of you guys who actually watch the stream, perhaps you will be acquainted by now with Razor Tip Stream. I don't know why the sound is not playing again, and I'm very worried right now. This is very weird. Let me just do a real quick check on audio setting, because it should play. Not sure why it's not. Okay, I think we'll just cross that bridge when it's here. This is very strange, guys. Very, very strange. Something is broken and I can't figure out what. Okay, I think I know why. Let's just hope this is the problem. Okay, let me try this again, yeah? Oh, there we go, audio is back. So I need to set the monitor on and off again. This is the thing about Streamlabs OBS. But anyway, this is how you can also show support for the stream. You can actually head over to Razor Tip Stream and scan the QR code here as well. Now the cool thing about Razor Tip Stream is that if you buy the shards through Razor Gold, you can actually receive Razor Silver, which can accumulate over time and use them to get all this epic loot. So we're looking at gear, games, apparel, all by Razer. So some of the games you can see that are based on Steam. You can also see you have keyboards, headsets, mice, and even things like water bottles and cloth masks and t-shirts and caps. All right, all these you can redeem with the Razer Silver. So if you show support for the stream, you can also show you can also have some kind of rewards through the Razer store as well. All right, and of course, today, the man of the hour, we're gonna have David Hilos. This is his Facebook page. I'm just gonna link his Facebook page in the chat. Okay, there we go. So if you guys actually need someone to take a look into your camera gear if it's broken, and he can repair most of them. In fact, he's got he's like a master of everything, right? He can repair medium format cameras, film cameras, DSLRs, mirrorless cameras. And the thing is, from what I heard, he is able to repair cameras that are totally broken and written off by the service centers. So if you go to an official service center, like for example, you go to Canon service center or Nikon service center, and they tell you that, you know, hey, sorry, but we can't repair your camera. It's dead. So it's time to let go and buy a new one. But if you go to David, he can somehow breathe life back into the camera. And this is not stuff of legend, guys. This is the truth. A lot of people have given feedback. You can see there's a lot of comments and a lot of positive reviews on what he has done for the camera, for the cameras and lenses that some of the photographers in Singapore have issues with. and this is just amazing stuff. So we were very blessed to actually have him on the show today. So just a brief bio on David. So David Hilos is an electronics and communications engineer by profession. He studied at the University of Santo Tomas in Manila and is a licensed electronics and communications engineer in the Philippines. He has always been interested in the intricacies of machines as a child. Kind of reminds you of a certain Marvel superhero, huh? It all started from his toys to household equipment and then eventually to photography equipment. To him, disassembling and reassembling all the complex parts and machinery within the machinery is like a puzzle game. All right. He first got into photography at the age of 15, and recently David was featured on Channel News Asia, Singapore CNA Insider in an episode called The Camera Fixer, which aired on August 13, 2017. That was about 3 years ago. We missed the mark, guys. We almost had him on an anniversary episode. Okay, so CNA Insider actually features videos and stories on people, and they focus on investigative journalism, and they also do a lot of deep look at Singapore and Asian issues. So the writer of the story was Miss Shushan Lam, and she has a friend whose camera was actually fixed by David himself. So this is like a real case scenario. So before we bring him on, let's take a look at the CNA Insider scoop on David. So stand by. Oh, and I really hope that the audio works. If it doesn't, I'll fix it on the fly. Alright, stand by. Okay, so it doesn't work. So let me just fix that real quickly, guys. Give me a second.
Reassemble. They don't understand why.
Okay, I'm gonna replay it. Unfortunately, this happened because just now I did try. It worked. And then boom! Welcome to my life. Alright, stand by again.
My parents said when I was still young, when I received the toy, I will dismantle the toy. And then it will slowly reassemble. They don't understand why. I'm David Hilos. I'm from Laguna in Philippines. I fix stuff. I fix anything, any electrical appliances, audio, cameras, and lenses. This is an Osmo camera. The owner say it was splashed by water. Some things can be fixed. It doesn't necessarily be thrown away. So the owner says the lens doesn't focus. So it's turning now. You see it's turning. Sometimes you send to service center, they will replace this entire motor. These are my screwdrivers. Then have this Mercedes. That's 3 stars. It's very rewarding. I mean, sometimes it's not the monetary reward. It's something you fix, and it's something you do it by yourself. To me, it's like a puzzle.
You open your eyes big, bigger, big eyes.
It's big.
Like that. Okay.
Wow, that was just awesome. And here we have Mr. David Hilos in the house. Mr. David, how's it going?
Hello, good evening.
Good evening. How's it going? Everything okay on your end?
Yes, everything okay.
It's so good to actually catch up with you finally. Right now, to be honest, I'm like totally fanboying over here right now because when I first heard about you, you are like a legendary person that I hope to meet someday. And I think the first time we met was when you actually came down to my talk at the library at Orchard, and I was so shocked that you actually came by. I didn't expect to drop by, and you just came over and said hi, and I was like totally speechless. And now I find myself a bit speechless again, to be honest. But anyway, welcome to the show. It's great to have you over here, and we can see that there's quite a few people watching right now. Perhaps you'd like to say hi to some of your friends as well.
Hi, hello. Good evening, everyone. Yes.
Okay, so David, how would you describe yourself? Could you share a little bit about your background?
Okay, I'm a photographer as well. I'm a trying hard photographer, but ended up fixing cameras instead.
That's fantastic. And how did that actually happen? Was it like a choice made, or was it because you just decide like, hey, you know what, I have more interest in it?
Well, I was a photographer also, and my dad taught me to use the camera. But in the end, he noticed that I am more interested in fixing our cameras, maintaining rather than taking photos.
Nice. And when did you come to Singapore? Because you were originally based in the Philippines.
Yes, I came to Singapore in 1997, August 21st.
August 21st.
So it's 23 years and 1 week.
Oh man, we kind of missed the anniversary of your arrival here by 1 week. We should have done this 1 week ago. But it's cool. It's all right. And but why Singapore exactly?
Why Singapore? Because Singapore is it's a peaceful country. It's quite safe, and it's very close to Philippines. It's like 3.5 hours travel from Singapore to Manila.
Brilliant.
In fact, from my home to Manila, sometimes it's more than 4 hours. So it's like Singapore is closer to my hometown than Manila.
Oh, wow, 3.5 hours from flight from Singapore to your country, but
Yes.
4 hours just to travel from your capital city back home to
Yes,
where
it's
you live.
only about 82 kilometers, but because of traffic, you'll end up traveling more time to go back home than the actual flight.
Amazing. And what were you doing before your days with the camera? I mean, like, I do understand that you actually started out photography at the age of 15. But before that, what were your interests?
My interest is I like fixing stuff, any electrical appliances, stereo, TV, anything that is need fixing, I'll fix.
Is it do you feel like when you look at a piece of machinery, there's just that interest to just tear it apart and then after that try to understand how it works? Well, is that the case when you were young?
Yes. In fact, when I was much younger, my dad told me that I would, if they bought me a new toy, when I reach home, I will disassemble and reassemble it back.
So it's like your own mini jigsaw puzzle game.
Yes, so I think they were a bit surprised because new toy, and then I will try to destroy.
Okay, what was the very first thing that you have ever disassembled in your life?
I believe it's my toys.
Which toy exactly? Do you remember? Do you recall?
I cannot remember. All of my toys I dismantle.
You know what? I'm a toy collector, so I'm going to be very careful if I were to bring you over to my place to look at my toys. James says, dissect me. Why? James is actually a very big fan of yours. When he saw that you're actually coming onto my show to actually give a little chat about your life as well as your career, he got very excited, and he was one of the few to actually going on and on this is somebody that every professional photographer should know because he is a legend. He is very well known in the Clubsnap forums, and of course we'll talk a little bit about Clubsnap Live as well because I know there's a very interesting story that started out, right? Um,
Yes.
so could you share that because I understand that your father was the one who introduced you to the world of photography, but could you share how did he introduce you to photography?
Okay, I was forced to hold the camera. I mean, he was proud that I can. He was always with his friends, photographers. He would say that, "Oh, I have a son, assistant. He will change role, change film, unload and load and unload films." So he was proud that I am his assistant. But after some time, things changed. He became my assistant, so he's the one changing roles.
That's very interesting. So you're more like someone who evolved eventually to become a photographer on your own. Just give me a second.
Yeah.
I don't know why my video is stalling and pausing. Just give me a second. There we go. Am I moving again? I'm moving. Okay,
Ah,
sorry
yes,
about that.
yes.
There's something very strange going on with the rewiring, so I may have to get attention to take a look at it. I'm really sorry about this. Normally, this is not the case, but I guess even my cameras, the one that's used for stream, is kind of um, stunned that you're on the show as well. Okay, so when it comes to photography, who are your heroes?
Oh, of course, my dad and some of those Filipino photographers who are very popular. Uh, I think there's one which is Rupert Jacinto
Rupert Tahiso.
and Rupert Jacinto, and they are very popular during that time.
And back then, I mean, maybe for the benefit of the younger viewers out here, how do you come across their works? Is it, I mean, was there the internet already back then, or were you looking at magazines and things like that?
Yes, so only in magazines.
Magazines.
He's a photographer of those popular celebrities and politicians.
I see. Okay, and what is it about their works that makes you want to follow them?
Uh, they are popular and they're rich.
Were you having this concept that or idea that if you were to become a photographer, it'll be like an easy path to getting rich?
Yes, that's all. Why during that time we don't have much money, so I wish to be rich. So I envy those popular photographers.
I see, I see. Um, and do you actually follow their footsteps? Actually attempt to shoot like how they did their shoots as well?
Yes, I we only shoot uh, normal people, typical people. So we don't have that connections. I find photography sometimes you have to have good connection to the popular to the rich, so then you can have those chance to shoot them. But I for ordinary people I try to post them like what I've seen on the photos of popular photographers.
And it actually created a following for you as well.
Yes, we were me and my dad were like newbie when we entered photography in our small town. So uh, we were quickly getting market share. I mean, during that time, my mom and my dad plus me, we were getting some market share.
So it's basically a family business.
Yes,
Your
family
photography business.
business.
Brilliant.
My mom is more on the PR side. My dad is the one taking photos. Yeah, and I'm assistant.
Wow. So basically, the world of photography runs through your family's family blood. You know,
Yes,
it's like a massive
yes,
part and parcel of your life.
yes.
But let's sidetrack a little bit on your own case. Let's say for photography. Um, do you how long has it been that you've been doing photography as both a hobby and as a career?
I started in about 1983, and it stopped only after I went to Singapore, which is 1997. So it's about 14 years.
14
We
years.
were yes,
14 years as doing professional work as a business?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm more professional. It's for me. It's not a hobby.
Ah, I see. I see. The hobby is more of
Yes.
the taking things apart, I guess.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
And do you recall what was your very first camera?
Okay. We Our first camera is Minolta 7S,
Mm.
but it's a rangefinder. Our first so-called camera
Mhm.
is a uh, Nikon FE.
Oh, Nikon FE, same one.
Yes, yes.
And speaking of Nikon FE, this is my own personal. I mean, it belonged to my dad, but now it's passed on to me. I have the FM2 as well, but this is the one that I just found from the storeroom only recently. And you know what, David, I have to visit you one of these days because I need to send this for repair as well. So I will head over. Probably next week maybe. I'll set an appointment. Don't
Okay.
worry.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Nikon FE, and do you still have all those cameras with you still?
Okay. Nikon FE, we switched to Nikon FM. We have 6 of those.
Wow.
I still have the 4 of them.
You still keep them?
Yes.
Are they still assembled or are they disassembled?
It's not used for quite some time. I know, I'm not sure if it's working, but it's something which I cherish.
So it's like a memento from your
Yes.
beginnings. Brilliant.
Yes.
And when you talk about making the switch from, I mean, not making the switch rather, when you come over to Singapore in 1997,
94, 97.
97, right?
Yes.
Was there like a period of time where you actually took a break from photography altogether?
Yes, yes. During that time, I stopped photography.
Hmm.
Yeah, because it's to me it's a profession. I mean, it's not a hobby.
Mm.
So yeah, I only shoot for business.
Right. And back then, was it tough to actually break into the Singapore market as a photographer?
Yes, yes. I was told that yeah, if I want to take photos of wedding,
Mm-hmm.
something like that, Singapore is a bit difficult to penetrate because the photographers are good and they have this thing like Malaysian couple will get Malaysian photographer, Chinese couple will get Chinese photographer, Indian couple will get Indian photographer. It's not because of race, but it's more like a culture.
Ah.
So they know, it's like they know which they prefer someone who knows their culture.
Mm-hmm.
So Filipino couples in Singapore, they get married in Philippines.
Ah. They
So
don't
no
get married there.
business.
Oh dear.
No business.
No business at all. But
Yeah, unless you're really really good, they say. Yeah.
all right, which is quite unfortunate because this is you could have used your experience from Philippines to actually create some kind of a new creative way of taking photos for weddings here in Singapore with some of the locals here. Yeah, it could have been interesting, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, but when you actually look at your first few cameras, in this case, from Nikon FE to the FM, compared to the gear that's accessible today, what is it that you feel lacking when it comes to the camera, and what is it that about film cameras that make it even more interesting and exciting compared to what they offer today?
The film cameras are quite durable. Even the old cameras are still working, but those cameras, digital cameras, after some time, you will difficult to get parts. Parts has to be replaced. Unlike those Nikon FM, Nikon FE, even Canon AE1 programs, there's still a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of people are sending in for repair. So it's like timeless.
Timeless. That's right.
Yes. Yeah. The film, the digital cameras, they come and they go. I mean, after 10 years, it's like no more value.
Yeah, that's pretty true actually. I mean, like for example, some of the camera brands out there, I won't mention which one specifically, but they tend to release one new model almost every year, and it just makes you wonder,
Yes.
where will we ever catch up to the features and technology, and it's always constantly evolving. But film cameras like the Nikon FM2, like what you said, it's timeless. After almost, hell, I think the Nikon FM2 is even older than me. More than 30 years old, but it's still about 40, right? And it still holds a special place in some photographers' hands because it just simply works. Yeah. And when you shot your earlier works, do you do your own development or do you go to some shop to do the film developing?
We go to a shop for developing and printing.
So you don't have your own darkroom or anything like that?
No, it's quite difficult to maintain darkroom.
That's true. And I suppose just now before we actually gone to the show, we actually had our pre-flight checks. We did chat a little bit about some of your previous works, but it's quite unfortunate that you are not able to share your earlier works anymore, right? Because some of them are lost or something.
Yes, I don't keep them. I mean, most of the film is cannot be print anymore, or we send to customer. We don't keep them.
I see.
Yeah, we don't keep copies.
Yep. And being a creative person in terms of when it comes to machinery and things like that, would you say that experimentation, being someone who experiments a lot, is it a huge part and parcel of your life?
Yes. Actually, during those times, we have this. During the time, the trend is double exposure. So I prepare those holder for mask. So we can do all those sorts of multiple exposure, fancy stuff. Yes, using my own holder, mask holder.
Mask holder. So you
Yes.
try a lot of very interesting things and then you just see whether it works or not and then just keep on
Yes.
experimenting. And what
yeah,
is
I think-
the one experiment that you tried to do, but it could not take off?
Okay, last time I tried to make my own battery charger,
Okay.
and it didn't work. So my dad was so embarrassed. I mean, he was
Oh,
so
no.
proud that, and then his friends who are photographers also. I think his son is not an engineer, but he managed to make his own charger. So I feel embarrassed.
No.
Yeah.
So do you like stop to take a look at what went wrong and then try to fix it and come up with a newer version?
No,
or-
no. That's I tried a few times, but I ended up giving up the project.
I see.
So
I see.
yeah, I did something which I can do quickly.
Steam Mahima watching on Steam Mahi watching on the stream right now says, "Wow, own battery charger." I think if you were to create your own battery charger, it'll be quite interesting. I'm very curious to know how it works and how much how fast it can really charge all those batteries.
Yes, but it failed, so I scrapped the project.
Will you ever take a look at this project again and come up with maybe a map?
And now it's easy. Now it's easier to do this. Last time is I don't have knowledge. It means totally just for fun.
For fun. And
Yeah.
Actually, what exactly happened when it didn't work? Did something explode or anything like that?
I don't know. It's not charging.
Okay, phew. All right. And back then in the Philippines, you went to the University of Santo Tomas. Back then, I think you were training to become an engineer, right?
Yes.
Yeah, electrical engineer.
Yes.
But did you attend any media or arts related courses for photography?
Course doesn't have this photography course, but there's a group. They call it camaraderie. It's like camaraderie, but they spell it like camaraderie.
Right.
So yeah, this is a group of rich students. They go places to take photos.
Right.
So I joined, but I'm not active.
Okay. so did you eventually just join just for the attendance and nothing more, or do you just actually go in and try photography?
Yeah, if the photography group is just in school, I'll try to join. But if travel somewhere, I didn't join.
I see. But somehow the idea of photography still lingers with you, and you somehow picked up a few skills, I suppose.
Yes. They are. I mean, some of them are students, are art students, so they are very good. So I feel shy. I mean, those guys are very good. Some are very young. They're good. So I don't dare to show my photos.
No, it's
Yeah.
okay. I think James said that last time you were like a level 5, totally newbie, but now you're like level 99, almost like a grandmaster level. So
Ah, no, no.
you can do a lot more, than what you used to.
Yeah.
But basically for photography, most of the time, is it safe to assume that you were mostly self-taught, especially when because you're working with your father and your mom
Yes,
in the
yes,
family
yes.
business?
We were self-taught,
Mm.
and there were no internets and
No YouTube.
uh, no YouTube, and the film is very expensive.
Oh yes,
So
yes.
yeah, so whenever we experiment, I have to write down everything, this setting, this just to remember what setting, because there's no Excel
Wow.
file. Everything is manual.
Yeah. Do you still keep your notebook or something like that? Is it still with you?
No, no, no.
Oh
Just write
man.
out or scribble down. So this is experiment, this setting, this exposure, this flash.
And do you draw like little diagrams and things like that to keep in
Yes,
mind?
yes.
Oh my gosh.
During those times, even those simple thing as bounce flash
Mm.
is very difficult.
Because back then there were no such thing as tutorials. You were still learning and experimenting on
Yes,
your own.
and it will take the next day before you see the effect.
Oh yes, yes.
So you don't know what's. So end up sometimes the light is half.
Mm.
So all those yeah failed photo shoots.
Field photo shoots. But these are part and parcel of learning back then. It
Yes,
was
yes,
less forgiving. I mean, you were dealing with film, so in order to find out how the shots look like, you have to wait until the films are developed.
yes, yes, yes,
And since you mentioned just now, film is expensive, developing is expensive. I would say that this learning process overall is very expensive as well.
yes, yes. Very slow and very
Very
expensive.
so very expensive. So when it comes to engineering, how much of what you studied for engineering applies to what you do today?
Oh, yeah. Let's see. Very minimum.
For a moment, I'm so
Yeah,
sorry.
it's
Wow.
because engineering is my work is more in engineering,
Mm-hmm.
but my engineering is, of course, at some point there's some parts are applicable,
Yeah.
some are not. Yes,
Mm. And which parts
no,
are the ones that are applicable?
those lab experiments when you test all the electronic stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So those calculation, everything is more on your work, but for actual, it's less.
I see. And
Yeah.
back then, do you have any formal internship or apprenticeship on learning how to fix cameras and lenses, or was it just
Uh,
again purely experimental, just opening a part? Right.
okay. My dad noticed that I am more on fixing cameras and
Mm-hmm.
lenses. So there's one time he asked me to join him,
Mm-hmm.
go to Manila.
Yep.
He introduced me to those people who fix cameras. So in Philippines, there are places. There's a place where you can send your camera and they will fix on the spot. So I'm watching how they fix, but
Mm.
I pretend. So of course these guys, though they don't want to share
Mm. The
so for
secrets.
them it's complete. So I just pretend I don't know anything.
Mm. So they just let you watch and observe, and then you just silently, quietly take down notes.
Yes, yes.
Uh,
I'm trying to analyze how it's done. So
how do you remember all the steps needed and required?
I mean, it's sometimes it's straightforward.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
And but you are not allowed to like copy down notes in front of them. I suppose
I don't know, of
somehow.
course, yeah, of course.
But
I
somehow you
watch.
remember. Yeah.
Yes, somehow I remember. Yes.
Okay, let's fast forward to modern times because I'm very curious. Do you still shoot today?
I just take photos of my daughter,
Ah.
and once in a while testing cameras,
Mm.
I like to shoot. But with all my friends, photographers, I'm too shy to show my photos
Oh
because
no.
if you have a lot of friends who are good, you feel shy.
Oh man, no, you shouldn't be feeling shy. I mean, like, okay, you know what? Next time, all right, when you feel okay, let's go out and shoot for fun. This is a personal invitation. Let's do that,
Yes.
right?
Okay, thank you.
No problem. But what camera and gear do you shoot with now?
Well, I have old cameras. No point. I have no. My wife says no point buying new cameras when people send you better cameras. That way you can buy. I have I have Canon 5D Mark II.
Mm-hmm.
I have Nikon D700, D300, my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
I have Nikon Canon 100D. I have I have most. I have someone gave me a Sony A99.
Oh wow.
I have a Micro Four Thirds as well. I have a Sony as well.
Mm-hmm.
Sony A6000.
Mm-hmm.
I use it for testing
Ah,
mostly. Yeah.
right. But they're all still in working condition.
Yes. For
Really
my testing,
fantastic.
I I test them. Sometimes I go out to test.
Mm,
Use them.
I see. And right now, aside from cameras, all right, what is the one piece of gear? It can be anything really that you cannot live without.
Oh, now it's my okay. My now it's no longer cameras. It's this
What's that?
screwdrivers.
Screwdriver.
Screwdrivers.
Screwdriver.
Yeah, yeah. This is the screwdrivers.
And I noticed during the CNA Insider trailer, they actually showed you have a special tool set that you reserve only for the
Yes.
best operations. Which one is that?
I have a lot of my tools are have accumulated. I mean, last time is about 30. Now I have 60 screwdrivers.
60.
I,
Wow.
yes, yeah. Some are duplicate. Some are just what they call tool acquisition syndrome.
The TAS, you're the
Yes,
first person that actually, yeah, I'm
yes,
frozen.
yes.
My gosh, I'm frozen so much on my webcam that I feel I should break out into song like a Disney character. But unfortunately, I'm not as pretty as the princess, so I wouldn't do that. I'm really sorry. I keep on freezing. It's just something is wrong with the cable connection today. But yeah, I promise I'll fix that soon. What about your daughter? Does she also have an interest in photography?
Last time they were much younger. They like photography.
Mm.
I think so. But then I discovered something. There was one time I met a lady photographer.
Mm-hmm.
She said that she's teaching photography to secondary students,
Oh.
East area. So I said, "Oh, my daughters are studying in one of those schools, secondary schools." So she asked me, "Who's your daughters?" So I said, "Oh, they're my students, CCA, yeah,
Oh, for CCA.
media, yes, media."
So the continuity is still there. I mean, there is still the
No,
interest.
no. What's the funny thing is, so they are your daughters. Actually, your daughters, they never attend my lecture. They just attend for a short while, sign up for attendance, and then they leave. They escape.
Oh no, that sounds terrible. But you're okay with that? I mean, like they don't share the same interests as you.
Last time, my eldest, she even won a photography contest.
Oh wow.
But then I don't know. Nowadays they hate cameras.
Hate
Say
cameras.
too much cameras. So they I think they hate cameras.
Oh dear. Okay,
Yeah.
that's fine. Um, Now I'm just gonna deep dive into the world of the camera whisperer, which is the term that people call you with. I mean, like it's synonymous with stuff of legends. You know, I mean, when I first heard of you, people were saying that, do you know this camera whisperer? And I'm like, camera whisperer? What do you mean by camera whisperer? And he said that there's this guy. He stays in Bedok. A lot of photographers go to him, especially when the cameras break down, and they only go to him as a last resort. But subsequently, every time they face issues with their cameras, they'll still go to this guy. And I was like, don't they go to the service centers? Nah, this guy can do magic. The service centers cannot do it. He can do it, and that's how I heard about you. But this persona of being the camera whisperer, how did it all begin?
Okay, it was a nickname given to me by one of the club staff moderator.
Ah, which moderator was that?
Pengek, Sheng Pengek.
James Penyek. James, do you know that guy? Because James is also one of the. I think he's also on the Club Snap team. I'm not sure
Oh,
as a member or a comment member, but I know he's quite active at one point on Club Snap. Uh, but why did he call you the camera whisperer?
uh, last time he invited me to a workshop, some short talk,
Yeah.
and he's the one who gave this nickname. Yeah.
But why exactly? I mean, it can't be some random thing that happened, right?
I don't know. Last time, in fact, he's the one who gave me two infractions. I
Oh.
remember.
So he's the one.
But now he's a close friend. He was one of my close friends.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
And you did share when you first began on Club Snap. I mean, your name was Fatigue. I'm very curious. Why Fatigue?
Oh, last time before photography, I was cycling, more cycling, my mountain bikes.
Yep.
So yeah, after cycling, I feel so tired. And then my work last time is so stressful.
Yeah.
Work all the time. So yeah, that's the only thing that comes to my mind when I sign in. Nothing else. Yeah.
Wow. I mean,
Yeah.
I thought it would be something else, but it turns out that literally you were tired, and fatigue just came to mind as
Yes.
the
Yes.
first thing that came, the first thing that you thought of because you're tired from cycling and working. Uh,
Yes.
wow. I thought that would be a very,
No, this is just something that comes to my mind.
I see, I see. And right now, I did a little bit of digging. Apparently, that there's this person called Zacho8.
Yes.
Yeah, and he is instrumental in how the camera whisperer came to being. So what 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 actually happened back then?
Okay, it's his name is actually Michael
Mike
Lim.
Michael Lim.
Yes. He was selling a second-hand lens, and he has fungus. It's with fungus.
Yep.
So he sold me cheap because it has fungus. So I say, I don't care. I can clean it.
Oh.
So he said, oh, you can clean. So can you help me fix my lens as well? So I fixed his lens. It's a Tamron 90 macro.
Mm.
I remember. So I clean and adjust the focus. So he
And,
say, yes, he say you're good. You should do this. You can advertise in Club Snap. Yeah, and so I advertise in Club Snap, but no luck.
no
I
luck.
mean, I'm I'm begging people to send me their lens and camera for fixing, but nobody wants to send. Uh, in fact, last time I'm charging $10 to $15 to clean fungus,
Wow. That
but
that
nobody trusts me.
that was so cheap. And why is it that you feel that nobody trusts you back then?
They don't know me. I think.
They don't know you yet.
Yes.
And I'm very curious. What exactly were the causes for the infractions?
Okay, because I advertise my services.
And that was it. That was the reason.
No, there was a post, and
Uh-huh.
I advertised my services. So it's like no advertising.
Ah, okay. So you if you
Plus my signature has my phone number and everything. I fix camera. So yeah, I most of there were I think three moderators. Yeah, I got infraction from three moderators, different posts. Yeah,
and
but they're all my friends now. They're all my close friends. They're
brilliant.
all my best friends.
I'm very curious because how did that transit, the transition, how was the transition like from being moderators who put infractions against you to becoming very close friends today in real life?
Oh, because I mean, maybe they didn't know me. I mean, they thought I'm a stubborn guy. But then in the end, there was a time when they have problems with their camera. One of them approached me,
Right.
so I fixed them, and then eventually I if there's some events, they would invite me if I can join.
Oh, that's good. So that's how the trust was actually established as well.
Yes, yes.
Brilliant. And for this side hustle, I mean, like Zachko or Michael, better known in real life, he was the one who actually suggested, you should do this as a business and all that. Considering that for the longest period of time there was virtually no business, how do you motivate yourself to, continue this side hustle?
Okay, so there nobody trusts me. So sometimes I would go to Sungai, we call it Sungai Road,
Sungai Road,
the
yeah.
one, yeah, beside. So there are those scrap cameras. I'll buy them and fix them.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then sometimes I will post uh, the DIY procedure in Club Snap.
Mm-hmm.
So from there, some people trusted me. So and then yeah, some say okay, uh, gave me a thumbs up, and then so I start to become. They start to know me.
So they say, this guy is for real. He's not a scammer.
Scammer.
Yeah, scammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, James is watching right now. He goes like, not me, huh? I didn't infract. So James, I didn't say that you're the one who infracted against David, but it's quite cool that the community actually understands where you're coming from, and the fact that you actually started to share your success stories with some of the cameras that you bought from Sungai Road. Now I think they understand how you came to be better, and the fact I think just now you shared the moderator himself had issues with the camera, and he turned to you, and maybe that's how they understand the thing about what you're planning to do. And I guess it applies to every businesses out there in terms of the modern times. It just takes that one moment where you prove to them that, hey, I'm actually a trustworthy individual, and I am really here to help you fix your camera, and I'm not here to cheat your money off and be a scammer or something like that. And it's great, it's great that this actually happened. And in fact, to be honest, it's really like a very beautiful origin story, like how you came to be. I mean, coming from Philippines, settling down in Singapore, and then trying to start something here, but people didn't trust you, didn't believe in you, but against all odds for the longest time. And curious now, how long did it take for them to actually get that trust in you?
Okay, so maybe 2 years.
2 years, wow! For 2 years you persisted, and it's amazing. I can't imagine if
Yeah, I think there's someone who I think there's someone who sent a kit lens
mm-hmm.
and it was dropped. So I think the service center asking like $350
$350
to fix. Yes. So, but it was when I fixed it, I just asked him about $40 to fix.
Wow.
So then he posted it in Club Snap. Now from then on, I people start trusting me.
Yeah, brilliant.
Yeah.
And your price are super fair. I mean, considering the parts that you change, if I'm not wrong, you are very meticulous in finding out which are the parts that need replacement. You don't replace wholesale, which is what
Yes,
centers do.
yes.
Yeah.
Because it's what's available.
And what could have possibly happened, I mean, in your life right now, if, let's say, for example, the moderators actually hit you with a ban from the forums? What we have done back then?
Back then, it's only Club Snap is the popular forum for photographers.
Yep.
Maybe things have been different. Maybe I'm fixing audio products.
Yes.
Yeah. I've been fixing before cameras. I've been fixing audio products.
Like radios and TV
Yeah,
sets as
TV
well, right?
yes.
Brilliant. So you could have been the radio whisperer as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so what actually still motivates you to continue fixing cameras today?
Well, it's something that I enjoy doing. Yeah, something I enjoy doing, fixing stuff.
But were there any points in time you felt like stopping?
No. I mean, it's maybe if my job is very I'm occupied with my job, my main job, I would stop accepting uh, repair jobs, camera stuff.
Mm.
So I focus on my main job.
Yep. And
Yeah.
how normally when it comes to making repairs for cameras and lenses, how long does it take to complete one job?
Okay, it's case to case. Sometimes it takes a few minutes.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it takes an hour, 2 hours, half a day.
Half a day. Were
Yeah.
there any jobs that require more than 1 day, more than 1 week, 1 month, even?
I don't know. That one is sometimes you have to give up.
It's
It's not practical.
not practical.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that one is a hopeless case already. There's no more turning
Yes.
back. Um,
Yes.
how would you approach your repair in terms of the prep work and workflow? Do you have anything to share on screen? Because I remember during the pre-flight checks, you actually showed something on screen, but wasn't really aware what it was.
Okay.
It looked like a camera part.
Fixing cameras is first thing is to know the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, a lot of you have to learn that how the camera works, the function, everything. Because sometimes or some most of the time, there's no problem with the camera. Sometimes it's the setting, the owner not familiar with the setting, so
Mm-hmm.
they have to check first the is it really faulty? Is it really so from there? Sometimes it's you check and then see if there's parts available.
Mm.
Yeah.
Right. And from what I understand, also previously during my research for some of the things that you do, some of your prized possessions include camera manuals.
Ah, yes, yes.
Yes. So these are like some of the what do you call that repair repair Bible or something like that, because it's
Yes,
something that you
yes.
learn from.
Yes. It's
Ah.
okay. There's something like I collect.
Mm-hmm.
There are manuals. There are websites that shares manuals.
Mm.
Most of the manuals, and then there's also a thing called service software.
Survey software. Yep.
Yes, it's a software you install to the computer.
Mm-hmm.
So when you plug in your camera, this service software will guide the technician what's the problem.
Oh, okay.
It will read everything. It's like cars, the so self-diagnostic.
Yes.
It will because the camera is like a computer.
Mm-hmm.
It is a computer.
It is. It is.
It has a self-diagnostic. It knows what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
So the camera is so smart that if you did something wrong, the camera will know. It will remember. Yeah,
Brilliant.
it's like
Brilliant.
as I mentioned before. It's like girlfriend. It's like wife. If you did something wrong, the camera will remember forever, and it will recall in times when it needed. It will recall. So this
Oh man.
software is like that. You can recall. For example, uh, some cameras when you're playback mode,
Mm-hmm.
and then you suddenly remove the battery. It's not advisable. It's like PC. You plug up the power.
Yep. Yep.
So it's not good when when your camera is on and then you suddenly remove the battery. It's not good.
Yeah.
Some cameras will remember this incident. It will log into its memory.
So it will actually tell you during the diagnostics period that this owner did not really look after his camera,
Yes,
and that's how you can actually
yes,
backtrack
yes.
and fix the problem.
No, yes. I mean, the self-diagnostic will tell you what's the malfunction.
Mm.
I can show you some samples.
Yep.
Which switch is not working? Which motor is not working?
Mm. And what about those fully mechanical cameras? From the past, they don't have any logic boards on board. They don't really speak to any software.
So this is manual, purely manual. It's like old cars.
Old cars, yeah, vintage
Yes,
ones.
it's like those carburetor
Mm-hmm.
cars. Everything is manual. But the good thing is because it's manual, mechanical, it can be fixed.
Mm.
Most of the time it can be
And,
fixed.
and and I like the fact that you use purely unorthodox methods sometimes to fix things. You use chopsticks, you use toothpicks. Very very
Yes,
strange
yes.
tools that I wouldn't think that any service center will ever use in the lab. But there you go. You're doing it. Um, I'm also very curious. do you have any behind the scenes photos of you at work, or maybe some things that you want to share on screen with regards to some of your repair work?
I don't document this anymore, but I have some photos to share
Sure.
later. Yeah.
Later. Okay, cool. And
I can see.
uh, maybe later would be good, or
Yes,
if you
yeah,
want
okay.
to, yeah, no problem. But when it comes to repairs, what would be the most important consideration? Would it be like parts availability, or could it be the amount of damage that you received?
Nowadays, it's more on cost.
Cost. Mm.
Yeah, cost. It's sometimes some cameras are it costs a lot to fix, and for example, the value is some. For example, those point and shoot cameras, it can be fixed, but the amount of work, the parts cost is cost more than the value of the camera.
Yeah. Then it's not worth it anymore to repair it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sad to say, it's not worth to fix anymore.
Then let's say for example when that happens, do you just inform the photographer or the personnel, the person who sent the camera in
So
immediately?
I yes, I mean if it's straight away, I don't want to waste the time. So I'll just say, oh, this one cannot be fixed. But if I still see there's a possibility, I will try to fix.
Right.
Yes.
And right now, roughly, because back in the past you said that you charge for like maybe about $10 to $35 for repairs. Can you roughly share how much would it cost? Let's say for example, you have to bring in a camera that needs fixing.
It depends on what needs to be done. I mean, what the parts cost and the amount of work to be done. So it, it's uh, it's still I mean a fraction what service center charge. Sometimes it's even less than one third.
Oh wow! And I'm just curious because a couple of days ago, I think you posted something like you spent one whole night fixing a particular Hasselblad digital camera.
Yeah.
Something like that. How
That,
much would
yeah.
that actually fetch in terms of cost?
Let me see. I already forgot. I think it's 200.
200.
200. I hope Iras is not listening.
Okay,
Yeah,
and
it's 200. Yeah.
yep, and then when people started calling you camera whisperer, how did you actually feel?
Well, I feel uh, what do you call it in Singapore? Paise, a bit
I say.
shy. No, I'm not that good. I mean, there are people who, in fact, I met people who are good. Some of my clients are good.
Yep.
Yeah, they know how to fix. There's one time I met someone who even instructed me what to do.
Oh.
So I think he knows, but I think he's so busy that he doesn't have time to do this. Yeah.
So he was actually still instructing you as well, but to have that term to be called the camera whisperer, it's really it really shows how highly the community thinks of you, to the point where your story got picked up by Channel News Asia, by Petapixel, by Vulcan Post. You literally went viral overnight, and when people discovered who you are, and it really speaks volumes about your first of all your skill, and of course your personality, because everyone's saying that, oh, this guy's like an angel, he's able to fix my camera.
I think because in Singapore is not much people fix cameras. The ratio of photographers to camera repair technicians is very big.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to fix. So yeah, I think that's the main reason. Nothing special.
But I personally think you're special. Okay, so over time, between photography and fixing cameras and lenses, which one do you feel is easier?
I honestly have to admit I am not. Maybe I'm not that artistic when it comes to photography. Technicalities I know. I mean, film wise, how to use cameras. In fact, because of the film days, without meter, I I know what's the setting, like I know the exposure, like,
Mm.
and my dad taught me that it's sometimes you have no time to focus. So sometimes by looking, I know what's the distance, I know what's the exposure.
Ah.
But artistic wise, I'm having difficulty. I'm not that artistic.
Mm, mm.
My sister took all the artistic talent in our family.
Oh no, but
Yeah.
is she shooting as well, or she
Yes,
doesn't?
yes.
Oh,
She took over our photography business.
I see.
And the next sister is making baking cakes.
Oh,
So
that's very different.
they're yes,
Yeah,
yeah,
very different profession altogether. We
yeah.
have Otif Dani who asked in the chat. I don't know whether this should be asked. Aside from removing battery while on, what are the common mistakes camera users do need to keep in mind to avoid having issues with the camera? Do you have any advice for that?
Okay. Okay. There's a lot. There's a lot of uh, tips. First is battery maintenance.
Hmm.
Okay. Um, Battery maintenance is you don't leave your camera with drained batteries.
Hmm.
It's like handphones. So when you store your camera for a long time, it's just like phone batteries, you charge a bit half because when you drain and then you keep it for a very long time, this battery once it reach because it will leak over time. When it reach certain threshold, you will not be able to charge it. It become faulty.
Yeah.
The battery is there's some maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, uh, it has to be charged once in a while.
Once in a while.
Yeah, cameras also just like okay the for example the SWM and USM. I mean these motors actually they're all the same motors. They just call it differently, but if you keep your lens for a very long time, they tend to oxidize because it's aluminum. So what happens is the USM, the SWM, HSM, all of them, these motors, they get stuck,
Hmm.
it get oxidized. So when it gets oxidized, it get the focus won't work. Yeah.
And
So yeah, it's just because it's inside a dry cabinet, it's not really that. You have to exercise. Yeah.
that's true. That's true. That's the thing that a lot of people think. That you put your cameras inside a dry cabinet all the while. It's safe from damage, fungus, and oxidation. Actually, it's not true. It still
Yes,
can get.
it's like human. You need exercise.
Yes. You need
Yeah.
exercise. I really like how you actually align your metaphors with the things that you want to talk about. Like, first of all, just now how cameras are like the camera systems, the software is like your girlfriend or your wife. They remember every mistake that you make, and then now you have to exercise to get your lenses up and
Yes.
running. I love that totally. And
Yeah.
right now, let's say for example, when you first started out as someone who wants to go into the business of fixing cameras, were there any concerns or any reservations about doing this in this country or anywhere in you know altogether?
My only concern is because I'm a foreigner.
Mm-hmm.
If I do this full time, I might not be able to renew my my pass.
Oh yes. You're by right, you're not supposed to, but you know what, I think a lot of Singaporean photographers are just grateful and thankful that you are able to sort their problems out. There's no way that we can actually keep this industry alive if all our cameras are all dead. That's quite problematic. Okay, so you have, like just now I mentioned that you had unorthodox methods of fixing your gear, using weird things like okay, I won't call it weird, but more like a non-technical
Non-traditional.
non-traditional tools, exactly, not screwdrivers and things like that, but you're still using things like chopsticks and toothpicks, I think.
Yes, yes, yes.
Pieces of cloth, wrap around
I
chopsticks.
still yes, I have a lot of them chopsticks because
Chopstick. And how did this idea actually came to you? Because for me personally, when I look at fixing things or even opening panels and things like that, I would want to go and use proper tools like screwdrivers and things like that. And I never thought that holding things open with chopsticks would actually help me get things done.
Yeah, I have the actual tools. I like to buy tools.
Mm-hmm.
But most of them are metal.
Mm.
So metal tools is if you slip,
Yep.
it will scratch.
Oh, yeah.
So especially some lenses. So if, for example, I have this lens spanner.
Oh.
It's adjustable. I have a couple of these. So this is adjustable, lock, turn. But once I loosen the ring, I
Mm-hmm.
will use chopstick
To
to
turn.
turn. Yeah, because this if you miss, it will scratch.
Yes. Yes.
Yes,
Very, very dangerous.
and in Singapore, people are very meticulous about this. Oh, there's a scratch. Oh, there's dust.
Mm-hmm.
So after exposing to this kind of photographers, I somehow improve a bit. I mean, improve because so cannot make it. They cannot make any scratch.
Yeah.
Cannot leave any dust.
Yep.
Yeah.
So would you say that Singaporean photographers are a lot more um I'm not sure if you know of this term, but we like to call it locally Niao.
Not really.
More
There
meticulous.
are some. There are some.
Mm-hmm.
There are some, but there are also majority is very nice.
Very nice. That's good to hear. That's good to hear. James says he also has plastic-based tools for the same reason because he doesn't want to scratch his equipment as well. And I think personally for myself also, I think I need to start looking at those plastic-based tools as well. Do you also shared that you have what do you call that? Interesting stories that you could tell us this evening. Some of the unheard
Uh,
stories, Um, what was your toughest challenge so far?
okay. Toughest challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I had a lot of challenges. Some of them is last time the D810. I
Mm-hmm.
have to switch the frame. It's like I have to change the frame. It's like your car. You change the frame,
Mm-hmm.
the chassis. So
Oh,
you have a lot to dismantle. It's like uh, it's like how do you say? You change the skeleton.
yep.
Okay, you can transplant heart, you can transplant kidney, but transplant skeleton is quite complicated.
It's very tough. Yeah.
Yeah, very tough. Yeah,
Mm.
that's one. The Hasselblad is one. Uh, but nowadays, if it's too tough, I give up. I have the option. Usually, those flooded,
Mm.
it's beyond repair.
Those that are hit by splash water.
Yes, so
Mm.
salty water.
Salty water, yeah. I I had my own personal experience with salt water from sea spray. Didn't know that sea spray could actually cause internal corrosion until it looks okay outside. But when I realized that my camera was acting weirdly, I realized that when I had to send it to the Sony center, they open up, hey, look at it, there's corrosion inside. Like, oh man.
Yes,
So for
it
those people,
takes it takes a few weeks.
a few weeks.
Sometimes it takes weeks. Yeah.
Mm. But were you able to rescue any cameras from issues with corrosion or sea water?
Yes. There was seawater is quite difficult.
Mm. Sea water is tough.
It only takes about 3 hours. Once flooded in seawater, 3 hours gone.
Oh, so that means within those 3 hours, those are crucial times that you actually have to either send it in
Yes,
for repair immediately or risk
yes,
losing it altogether.
yes.
Steam Mahi Mahi asks, what's your process to remove salt residues in rubber grips on camera bodies and lenses?
Rubber grips.
Hmm.
Okay. Water. Just water and alcohol.
Water and alcohol. Yeah, water for cleaning and alcohol just to drink it down. So
Uh,
I'm just kidding.
some say it's vinegar. So, but
Vinegar.
vinegar is acidic.
Mm.
I don't trust acidic.
Yeah. Actually, I've also read somewhere to get rid of oxidation, we can use distilled water mixed with vinegar. Is that recommended for cameras as well?
I have seen that also, but I never tried.
Never tried.
Yeah, alcohol and water.
Alcohol and water. Okay. I like how James is also agreeing with me. Drink the alcohol first to get the courage and then wash the lens in the
Yes.
water.
Yeah.
Kids, don't try this at home. It's too risky.
Yeah.
It's too dangerous. And right now, what happens if you actually tell photographers that you are not able to repair the cameras and lenses? Do you actually have those, I would say, demanding types that go like, oh no, David, you need to repair this. I'll pay you more if you
Yes,
want.
yes. There are people who does not accept.
Oh
No.
dear.
Yeah. There are, but very seldom. But there are people who it's like your obligation to fix the cameras.
Oh, so you have to explain to them that it's time to let go. This one has died.
Yes, I mean it's like you tell them that it will cost. If you tell them it will cost more to fix than to get a good second-hand unit.
Then that's when they will accept the fact and move on with life. Okay. Very, very sad to hear that.
Yeah, it's also because it's when you fix something, you also spend time to fix. So they have to understand that sometimes it's also not for us. It's also not good to say no because we also spend time to fix, but then in the end cannot fix.
Yep, that's right.
So and we don't get paid for that.
Yeah.
Lost time.
Yep.
Yeah.
And were there any funny stories that you could share with us?
I have a lot of funny stories. There was one time I was cleaning a sensor.
Mm-hmm.
So I was cleaning a sensor. I took some photos and checked is it clean. I overskipped reverse. So when I was checking the sensor, I overskipped. So I went to the owner's photos. There were sexy ladies, and then suddenly, just in time, my wife passed by. So
Oh
she said,
no!
"Oh, no wonder you're so quiet there looking at photos." There's also one time because sometimes it's people call me or send me SMS. I don't know who's this guy. So this gentleman is like he talks like a manager.
Mm-hmm.
So she said, David, I'd like to send you my camera. Can I meet you can I pass you my camera in 10 minutes time? So I said, yes, okay, I'll meet you then. And then all of a sudden my wife says, can you accompany me to the grocery? I'm buying a few stuff.
Yep.
So I told her, no, I'm waiting for some important person. You go ahead first. Okay, so then the phone rang. I went down to meet this person. So it turns out the lady.
Yep.
How to say, pretty lady.
Okay.
It turns out that she's the secretary of the one who called.
Okay.
And then the same timing, my wife passed by.
Oh no.
She said, oh, so this is a VIP guy. So I didn't know. I mean, there's a lot of I cannot explain. I mean, she say, this. I even told her, Mr. Winston. Oh, Mr. Winston is so sexy. So
Oh man.
those were the early when I was start fixing cameras. Now she knows. I meet different person. I don't know. Yeah.
Yep. And sometimes the person you talk to online appears to be a very different person, completely different person altogether in real life.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is why it's very important to check who you're dealing with. Otherwise, guys, you might end up getting scammed.
Yes. So yeah, and sometimes I am scared of those camera straps, especially for ladies. Sometimes they have perfume.
Oh.
So this perfume will. This I have to handle the cameras very well.
Right.
Yeah.
So next time, no more straps, guys.
Yeah, no more straps, and then even the eyepiece. Sometimes the eyepiece has mascara.
Oh dear. You put it on and then you can see that.
Yeah, sometimes it's so I'm very careful with ladies.
Okay, ladies, you guys are giving David a hard time. So next time when you send your cameras in for repair, please be Nice. And clean your eyepiece. Make sure that your strap is clear. Take out the strap, maybe that'll be better because we don't want him to get in trouble with the wife again. But yeah, like what Tomohito or Eugene watching right now says, it's so good that your wife is very understanding, so we gotta give her a tiger. Oh man, and James says, pro tip, don't send cameras with memory cards inside. I think that's true. So guys,
Yes, I have to return. Sometimes there's some
interesting
photos
photos.
which interesting
Interesting
photos.
photos.
Yes.
And is there any personal sense of satisfaction knowing that you can fix what service centers could not? Because we hear a lot of stories where customers go to maybe Nikon service center, they go like, oh, this one can't be repaired anymore, and then after that we go to David instead. Or in fact, a couple of nights ago, I think you posted up something. There was this sticky pad on a camera. It says hashtag send to David.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
I
there's that satisfaction knowing that you can do something that they can't.
yes. I mean, it's not that they can't.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes they don't have their policy. It's not accepting cameras which are more than 10 years old or 8 years old.
Yep.
I believe they can, but they decided not to fix. Or maybe they don't have the parts, or the company decided they call it EOL, end of life.
End of line. Yep.
Yeah. So either that, or it's not economical to fix. Yeah.
And it's
Some-
just
some-
bad.
I think they fix. They have everything, but maybe it's not economical to fix. That's the reason. Anyway, even if it's not fixable by service center, anything that I fix, I feel some satisfaction, because when these photographers approach me, you can see that sometimes they are concerned, they're a bit worried, they're sad.
Yep.
So, but when you get it fixed, you can see the happiness, and they're glad that the camera is fixed.
Yeah. And I think this kind of satisfaction is very hard to get from service centers, because sometimes, like what James said, the company does have its policies, and employees, no matter how well-meaning they are, they just can't do anything about it, and they just have to
Yes.
tell the
I
customers.
even have this story that okay, there are two friends. So this guy A loaned his lens to this guy B. So the lens is somehow gets spoiled, become faulty. So guy B said that, I haven't done anything, and then suddenly the lens broke.
Yep.
So I checked the lens. So guy B has the responsibility to get it fixed. So, but guy A felt there's some friction between these two guys. The friendship is in
Jeopardy. It's
jeopardy.
the problem, yeah.
Okay, so because they, what did you do? So when I check, it's something like a common problem. It has nothing to do with this guy B is just unlucky that the lens broke. It's a common problem.
Oh man.
So I told the owner, actually this is not his fault. It's just that he is unlucky that this happened to him. It's a wear and tear.
Oh man.
So because of that, I was able to their friendship. Yeah, they become friends again. I mean, they bond their friendship.
Well, at least you just not you
Take the friendship.
Yeah, you repair the friendship. Exactly.
Yes.
But knowing how you are able to do so much for different cameras out there, apart from being able to fix the lenses as well, has any of the major brands actually approached you to work for them as a repair specialist?
No, maybe because it's what they call conflict of interest.
Conflict of interest.
Yeah,
Because you
I
work with different
cannot.
brands.
Yeah, I have to work for them, and then I'm fixing. So maybe not good.
True.
In fact, service center. I think they want their technicians to be invisible.
Mm, mm, mm.
They don't want their technicians to be visible. I'm too visible.
You're like a celebrity now already.
No, there's too. I not really, but I if I visit some of the service center, I'm surprised they know me. So
Mm.
yeah.
Well, that's because your reputation precedes you, I guess.
Mm.
The camera whisperer. We have someone called Heritage Cebu coming all the way from Austria. Welcome to the channel as well. Thank you for joining us this evening. It's great to see someone who's actually in Austria, and yeah, that's right. It's still, I think, early evening for you right now. I think it should be about 5-ish p.m.
Australia is advanced. I
Six
think
hours. Is
it's
it? 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. I think so. Germany is 6 hours, so Australia is about the same. Yeah, so it's afternoon for them. Welcome to the channel. Thank you for joining us this evening. For those of you guys watching at home right now, I invite you guys to ask questions to David if you have anything that you want to ask him. Pretty sure some of you guys have been following his works all this time with regards to repairing cameras and lenses, and maybe some of you guys will probably have questions that are that you've always wanted to ask him but never had a chance to. And tonight is your opportunity. Just pop them into the chat window, and I'll read them for you guys. All right, no problem. Oh, Heritage Cebu says it's 3:30 p.m. there in Austria. 3:30 p.m. Good afternoon. So you have you? Okay, I'm gonna ask a very sensitive question here. Were there any setbacks in what you do so far?
Yes. I think it's family time.
Family time.
Because last time I was busy with work. When I reach home, I have to fix. So what I do is my earnings for this, I give to them so they can go out and enjoy.
Ah.
Last time we worked. Now my eldest is working, so they want family time. Yeah.
So family time is crucial. And oh wow, Heritage Cebu says he's here because of David.
Oh, hi, thank you.
Heritage Cebu. Heritage Cebu, are you from the Philippines as well, living in Australia? Austria, sorry, not Australia, Austria. Let's just ask. Okay. Right now, you also do talks as well. And what do you normally give your in terms of content? What do those talks cover?
Okay, my talks usually is some basic DIYs and maintenance, how to maintain their gear.
Right.
Like how to prevent fungus, how how to maintain your gear.
I'm very curious because some people will probably think that having a dry cabinet to prevent fungal infection for your camera is more than enough. What would you say to that?
Okay, for fungus to grow, there are four elements. Four elements for fungus to grow. That will encourage fungus. One is dark, no light, still air, and then humidity and temperature. So, in the absence of this, it's there's no fungus. But when you look at it, dry cabinet is dark.
Interesting.
Still air. So you only remove the humidity, but the temperature is still there, dark, still air. So I have seen some cameras which were sent with fungus. The guy says it was kept in dry cabinet for two years.
2 years.
Yeah.
They used to get fungus.
1 year. So the fungus is on the sensor, under the sensor, so it's very, very troublesome to fix.
Yeah.
So the same thing, you have to exercise. Yeah, once in a while, exercise. Right. Because when you brought out your camera, the light, the UV lights will kill the fungus, and the still air circulates.
Yep.
So yeah, it's not still air. So once in a while, still need to bring out the camera.
Which reminds me, I think I did have one lens that I bought a long time ago. it was a tilt shift lens, and then the owner actually kept it in storage for about 1.5 years in a dry cabinet that's always constantly on, and set at 45% relative humidity. But still, there was fungus on the front elements, and this is a true story, guys. Even if you keep your cameras inside the lenses, inside the dry cabinet, you still are susceptible to getting all these fungal problems. And like what David said, you gotta take them out for exercise. A camera's meant to be used, not meant to be kept, hidden.
Yeah, that's same thing as the motor. The motor is, I think the motor is meant to be abused. One
Yes.
thing, my observation is, some lenses used by professionals, they don't have this problem with motors getting stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And then in this hobbyist, which you can see the camera, the lens is pristine condition, no scratch, motor getting stuck.
Yeah.
So which brought me this conclusion that it's probably due to the oxidation. In fact, the fix is cleaning those rubbing parts.
Yep.
After cleaning and polishing, the motor works again.
Just like the one that you showed in the CNA Insider video just now. You were like, it suddenly turns
Yes,
again. Yeah.
actually, I didn't see the actual process. It's some secret, but it's similar to that.
Similar to
Yeah.
that. Brilliant. And right now, let's talk a little bit about your life. If there's one thing you can say to yourself when you were 15 years old, if you can go back in time right now, right, back to when you were 15, what would be the one thing that you tell yourself?
I well, I don't know. I mean, I won't change anything, but if there's something I would maybe I would still do the same thing. I mean, things happen for a reason.
Yep. So there's nothing at all that you change. You're completely happy.
Yeah, I would change something. Is I would buy my dad his wish camera. That's all.
Which camera was that?
Last time he wants the F3, the F4. My dad is a Nikon guy,
Ah, okay.
so we dream about F3, F4,
Mm-hmm.
and the thing is, during that time I didn't understand his attitude. I mean, his attitude towards photography.
Mm-hmm.
I'm the so-called practical guy.
Yep.
So my dad, when we're shooting, for example, wedding, he likes to shoot extra. She likes to shoot extra. It's to him, it's like he wants to shoot something which is nice. For me, it's if I cannot sell it, I won't take it. So one thing is also, my dad is, he likes to show off his camera. I mean, he always asks me, he always tell me he wants to buy this. My reasoning is, why should I buy that if I won't earn from it? I cannot recover the money.
Yep.
So his reasoning is, it makes me happy. So if he has a good camera, the feeling is there. So yeah, now I realize why some people like to buy good stuff just to make them happy.
Yep.
People spend money just to take photos.
Yep.
That time I didn't understand my dad.
Now being wiser, I suppose, you actually understand a little bit more why he does that.
Yes.
And let's talk a little bit about social media, because the world has changed a lot due to the internet. Back then, when we first started out, it was Club Snap. I'm not sure how many people on the chat right now are familiar with Club Snap. I mean, I was on Club Snap. I started on Club Snap as well. I know James did as well, and definitely David, you also were on Club Snap for the longest time. Club Snap still exists as a forum for photographers in Singapore. But now we have things like Facebook, we have Reddit, we have things like what's that thing called, Instagram, where people also can discuss things, or even streaming. People talk on streaming shows like what we have here on the Amazing Live show. How would you say that social media has helped you in your current business so far? I mean, you have your own Facebook page right now. Does it help with bringing in more business as opposed to back then when you just relied on ClubSnap?
Um, I both. I mean, both helps.
Mm.
Uh, it sometimes is I'm the one saying no. There's too much to fix.
Mm.
So most of the time it's I have to say no because there's too much.
Oh,
If I accept more, I'll be out on the street the next day. My wife and my family is not happy with too much cameras.
too many cameras already.
Yes.
And you know, so basically, evidently, you're still receiving a lot of business from both sides, ClubSnap and Facebook. So it's still an ongoing thing, which is great. But these days, where do most of your customers come from? From ClubSnap or from Facebook?
I think it's from Facebook.
Facebook, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's because the word of mouth also spreads a lot faster. I think you know, through the things that people share, because you do get a lot of people sharing your works and your effort on your page. So for those people who are wondering where his page is, I will share the link later on. Basically, it's called the Hilos Camera Repair page. I mean, it's called Hilos Camera Repair, but it's a Facebook page. So, right, it's very interesting because you actually do share some of the breakdowns of the cameras. You take them apart and you show the progress, and it's very interesting. You know, for a lot of photographers out there, especially because most of the time we are so engrossed with shooting and taking photos and creating images, but we forget that that tool that we're holding on to, there's so much going on inside. I mean, like, especially for digital cameras these days, they are doing all the thinking for you. Or even the mechanical cameras, there's a lot of moving parts just to create that one shot, you know. So it's very interesting to see how you actually share all these pictures, and it really shows appreciation for the breakdowns, which comes to the next thing that we just now postponed, the breakdowns of the camera images that you have taken. Yeah, so let's take a look at some of them. So for those of you guys who are watching right now, if you guys want to, you can actually show your support for the stream by hitting the follow and subscribe button. Or for those of you guys who are into gaming gear, you can actually use your camera phone to hit the QR code or give it a scan and donate to the stream. Donate to the stream using Razor Tip Stream, so you can actually show support for the channel. And all these donations will actually help a lot with the development of further topics as well as content for the channel. All right. Right now we're back with David, of course, and you can see that I have no idea what this is, to be honest.
Okay, this is a switch,
It's a switch.
inside the camera. So this is 5D Mark II. The switch you can see right now is I heard if this gets faulty, you have to replace the whole back panel.
Oh,
okay.
The small little metal strip.
No, it's the shiny thing with the switch.
Yeah.
Okay. This gets faulty.
So
okay, this I took it out.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, this is the switch.
Sorry, David. I think you need to share the screen because we only see the picture. It's okay. No worries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I still see the original picture that you showed.
Okay.
Look at the size of the screw, guys. I think this is really tiny. And I froze again, just like Elsa. Let me just unfreeze myself. Give me a second. There we go. I'm moving in. Oh, so that's the thing that you took out.
This is the switch. This is the switch.
Mm-hmm.
So, that if this camera, you have to replace the whole back panel.
Wow.
Just for the switch. And okay. Share.
So let's say for Canon when they replace the entire thing, wow, it costs only $8.73 only.
And it's 10 pieces.
And it comes in, wow, guys, look at the price.
So this is the advantage of fixing right on the dot.
Yeah.
You don't have to replace the whole. So it's about 90 cents per piece.
Yeah. It's just amazing how a small little tiny switch could cause a major flaw in the camera. It prevents it from working altogether, I suppose, in terms of the back panel, I think. But Canon would replace the entire back just because of this switch problem. Goodness.
I have
Yeah, I like what James said actually, to be honest. The part costs 90 cents, but knowing where to put it and how to effectively fix it, that's $90 worth. Awesome. Or more. $90 or more. Oh wow. That's an L lens.
it's a 51.2 lens. Lens. So this lens was damaged because there's a hood, extended hood, and the front part was stuck. So this part is damaged. The parts you can buy online, but don't have the replacement that time. And
1.2.
Okay.
Can't see that screen, sorry.
okay.
Need to share the
Share. Share. So this is
Oh. So
it should be it could be a complete circle. So the owner says, I say, I need to order the parts. But they say, I need it. Can you fix it? So this is what I did.
Yeah. It's amazing how you have so much patience for something so tiny. Oh wow. So that's the issue. And you
So
fix
yeah,
it
it's
by
supposed by this is a stapler. It's the staple, but I don't have a staple. I don't. So I use the staple has color. It's green.
Okay.
Anyway, this is inside. It's hidden.
Yep.
So I have to close this. Yeah, there are 3 holes. I have to close this using this, and this is I use soldering iron to melt the
The
to
staple in.
embed this metal.
And so now it's able to turn freely again.
Now this is, but because of this, the whole this will come out.
Ah.
So it's thick. In fact, this is stronger than the original because it's metal.
Very unorthodox again. Staple. There's a guy who just joined the chat and he asked, David, have you got a toaster fixed? Oh sorry, has David brought his toaster out yet? Toaster. I'm not sure who this person is. It's I wouldn't want to pronounce his name actually. Sorry.
This is show you how this is the amount of dismantling needed.
Oh wow.
This is 35 1.4 lens.
Totally disassembled.
Yeah.
What exactly happened to this lens actually?
This lens was dropped.
Oh no.
And there's not fix this anymore. It's discontinued, so they have to fix it.
Yep.
Okay.
So apart from cameras and lenses, you still fix audio equipment still these days?
Once in a while for my friends.
Because what about things like toaster? Someone actually asked about a toaster in the chat window.
Oh, I think it's someone sent me a toaster to fix, but I'm still waiting for parts to arrive.
Still waiting for parts. I'll call you Huat. I'll call you Huat from now on. Yeah.
This is the fixing the SWM.
Oh, okay. Huat says, no worries, David. Thanks, man. Yeah.
So this is the SWM. This is the motor. This is the one getting oxidized. The circle on the right, the one is getting oxidized.
Oxidized, yeah. how did you actually get rid of the oxidation? Was it a lot of work? Did you have to scrub it thoroughly and things like that?
Yes, it can be clean. It's like it's like polishing.
Polishing.
Yeah.
There's no such thing as just dip it overnight into some liquid and then the
Well,
oxidation goes away, right?
it, keep overnight is also, but it's a waste of time. You have to
Clean it as quickly as you can, right? Wow. I can only
okay.
imagine how massive your workstation would be to have all this camera gear repaired all at the same time.
It is something.
What's that?
I guess.
Is that rice? It looks
Yes, rice.
like rice. Oh, what happened?
So this camera is flooded.
Oh,
So the owner put this camera on a rice container, and some of the rice went in.
oh dear. Oh man. So you had to dig them out.
When during the break, I have to disassemble everything. So this is what I got. Free extra rice.
Free extra rice. Does putting cameras that have gone through a short swim, putting them in rice actually help overall, or is it just the drying
Yes,
part?
it's like what you call first aid.
Mm.
Still need to sample or repair, but this is first aid.
Oh wow. What
This
camera is
is
this?
this is a Nikon D7000.
D7000.
I think 7,100. These are old photos. I don't have new photos.
Mm.
Yeah, this is the amount of work.
And what exactly happened to this guy over here?
It's yes, error. It's shutter problem.
Shutter problem. I see.
This is the camera which was kept in dry cabinet for
Oh,
more than a year.
that's fungus right there.
Yeah, that's fungus. This is fungus.
You guys can see the lines on the sensor.
Yes,
And those are
this,
underneath the glass
yes,
element, right? So it's
yes.
directly on top of the sensor. Goodness. Oh, it's terrible. So it's just amazing how they can creep in, regardless whether you keep it in the dry cabinet for a couple of years. It's still can still damage your camera gear.
I still managed to clean this, but yeah, a lot of work that he did. The problem with the sensor is even those small dots it will show on photo, so it's
Yeah.
very difficult to keep it clean.
Yep. And how long does it take to clean it up in terms of removing the fungus?
Cleaning the fungus is it's a few minutes, but it's the time that to dismantle the whole thing and then to make sure there's no dust inside the trap inside the sensor and the glass.
Yeah. And is there any truth whereby once you clean a camera off of fungus, will the fungus ever return?
Okay. It's
Wow.
how do you say? Yes, I mean even a new lens,
Mm-hmm.
even an open lens, it's like it fungus will grow.
Yep.
So a lens which has been cleaned is no different.
You'll still come back, yeah.
Yeah, I have read somewhere that some manufacturers during production they exposed to radiation. So this radiation will prevent fungus. But so when it's clean, maybe you remove this safety protection. This is flooded with sea.
Seawater on the 7200, guys. Wow, pain. That's a lot of corrosion and rust right there.
Photos. Yeah, I can choose this.
Yeah.
Can you see this?
You haven't shared the screen yet. It's all white though. Oh. Oh, so this is the software that reads all the previous
Yes,
errors.
this one of the errors. So if you look at it, so
Battery
okay,
removal error.
yes, one of them.
Oh.
Let me see.
So that's the one. This is actually a very good self-diagnosis software that determines what actually went wrong with your camera. It's like a log or something.
Yes, this is log. What's happening?
So in this case, the camera is facing issues because of what exactly? The logic board dying or what?
There's a switch. There's a switch that has a faulty switch,
Faulty
so
switch.
it giving malfunction.
I see.
Okay, this.
So definitely, those people out there can't lie when you send your cameras out to service centers or even for to do David, because software like this will actually tell you where you went wrong with your camera.
This is D810. Okay, the problem with this, I think the owner accidentally inserted the SD card wrongly, or maybe the SD card problem. So what happened is the pin broke.
Oh shit.
So normally for service center they will replace the whole board. So this costs a lot to replace the board. So what I did is I just replaced the connector, SD card connector. Yeah,
Brilliant. And that costs a lot less, I suppose, because just one part,
yes.
right? Man. It's amazing.
Connector it costs maybe $10 or so.
Yeah, broken pins,
Yeah.
team.
And then the good thing is if you know the part, you can get the actual part. It's the original part.
Ah,
It's the same manufacturer, Mitsumi and everything.
yep.
So it's still the original part.
Oh, the pins on the broken one is totally gone. Totally ripped out.
Yes. And I mean, maybe it's not. I didn't include it. I have. Maybe it's broken. Yeah. So this shows it's both from the same maker.
Yep, Mitsumi.
So, yeah. I don't know. Still want to.
So like Oti Dani says, drying in rice is Asian style. Steam mahi mahi. Damn, broken pin. Yeah, I mean this is what happens if you're not careful with your SD card insertion. If you insert it wrongly, it might just damage the pin, and that can be a major problem. Yeah. Okay, David, I got a couple of questions left. Last questions. Oh, what's that?
This is just the SD card, CF card pin.
Oh, and the pin is bent.
And,
Our ship.
yeah.
Oh man, that to be honest, that kind of scenario looks very familiar because that's what happened to my 5D. No, not 5D. 400D at one point, and back then I didn't know about you, and I had to send it for Canon. Man, it cost so much to just have it replaced. But okay, so anyway, moving on. Some say today that photography is a sunset business. Would you agree still?
No, I don't think so.
Why?
It was even before the thought is happening, but actually it's no. Photography is to survive. Photography, you have to be creative. I mean, last time when during the film days, all we have to do is to make the photo come out.
Yep.
Yeah. Creativity is less. No post processing, no extra. As long as you make the photo visible, good enough.
Yep.
But when because of technology, there's digital everything, post processing is so the photographer has to be creative. The competition is tougher.
Yep. True.
Yeah. So um, the human factor is still needed for the artistic part.
Yep.
They can only automate exposure, lighting, but still, there's the artistic part is still there.
And the art of storytelling, especially, I suppose.
Yes.
Yeah. And for yourself right now, what are some of the difficulties or challenges you have encountered in your current line of work because of COVID-19?
Okay. During the CB, during the lockdown, it's totally zero. No income. Which is and after the lockdown, it's like it's difficult. I mean, meeting people is quite challenging. Some people don't want to meet.
Yep.
There was a point. Some of my clients is like I'm dealing with drug dealers, so I call them. Hey David, where are you now? I'm at the boy deck. Okay, I'm this guy wearing green. So what he will do is, my camera is here. I put it on the table, and then he will leave. So contactless. So it's like I feel scared, like we're dealing like drugs. Hey, the camera bag is on the table, on the chair. Yeah. Pick it up. I'm the guy in red. So last time is you have to shake hands. Hi. But then now it's
sneaky.
Oh yeah, with mask. And then say, oh okay. I'm the guy. Yeah, I'm the guy in blue. And then this, I'm putting my cameras on this position, in this place. Or if it's small enough, even I put the parts inside your little box.
And it's quite hilarious how things have to work in such a way just so things can continue to.
But one thing good about Singapore is there's trust. I mean, people trust. I received one bag of cameras from Grab or those taxi delivered to my house.
Oh.
So a few $1,000s worth of cameras and lenses delivered to those delivery couriers.
Yeah.
I didn't meet the guy. I didn't meet the owner, and then payment is through online.
That's great. It's safe, it's convenient, and I think ultimately, even though it's with strangers, there's still that trust. Yeah.
So I don't meet my clients anymore.
Now, last question for the day. Do you have any advice to the audience for those aspiring to become camera whisperers such as yourself?
This is very. If you like doing, yes, it's interesting, but it is a continuous process.
Yep.
Continuous learning process. New cameras, new techniques, new technologies. The thing is, fixing camera is one thing. Dealing with clients is another thing. You have to. Sometimes you have to deal with different kind of person. Yeah. So sometimes there are people, difficult people. There are sometimes people is more difficult to deal with than the camera.
That's true. Wow, that's truly an amazing piece of advice.
Yeah.
All right, guys. If you have anyone here watching the stream right now, you have any questions for David, this is the chance to ask him questions. And of course, David, this is a truly wonderful thing. Having a nice chat with you, really. It's just honestly, it's just too bad that we are not able to sit down face to face to have a chat about this, because the last time we actually met to have a quick chat, that was right after my workshop at the library, and it was just a quick 5 to 10 minutes. I think it wasn't long enough to hold these kind of conversations. But I'm so glad that we are able to do this online. The wonders of technology, we are able to still face to face, and still hear each other and learn from one another. And I have to say this, David, that what you're doing is truly special. Not because you are able to solve the problems faced by other photographers, but the fact that you are, in your ways, contributing to saving the environment, because every little bit counts. I just feel that these days there's a lot of electronical wastage out there, where just now in the beginning of the show, we actually talked about how cameras easily are replacing one another in terms of models. Every year, there's always a new model that's coming up. But you are prolonging the life of cameras, the tools that photographers use to keep on shooting, and you make it possible that they can not just save money, but avoid buying unnecessary new gear and just rely on the tools that they currently have. And to see that lifespan of the particular camera grow longer than what it was probably designed for by the manufacturer, saying that in 1 year's time this thing's gonna die and let's move on to the next camera. You are actually doing the world a favor in terms of preventing electronical wastage. So thank you so much. That's really awesome.
I also thank the Singapore for welcoming me, and I'm still in Singapore. I hope to stay here longer.
Oh, of course, you're more than welcome to stay here, buddy. And it's truly an honor to have someone like you among us, because every little bit of humanity counts. You're a good person, humble and kind, and I have to say this, considering how you began with Club Snap, you're definitely very trustworthy. So people, you're watching right now, if you ever need someone to fix your camera, take a look at your lenses and have them as good as new, this is David Hilos. He is completely trustworthy. So David, I think there's no question in the chat window, but it's really great to see a lot of people watching. Steve Mahimahi says, thank you for sharing. Finally heard from this often heard and rarely seen legend.
Oh,
and Huat says, yes, it may be cheaper to buy new gear, but it's invaluable to be able to salvage our old ones. And that's true. I think the old gear is just timeless. And Otif Danny says, wholesome sharing this time. Thank you. You're welcome. I'm so glad that you are able to join us this week. And thanks for the stream by Heritage Cebu. Thank you for joining us all the way from Austria. I'm very sorry that you came in late towards the end. But Heritage Cebu, if you want to catch the earlier part of this stream, I'm gonna upload it on my YouTube channel, so you can actually check it out as well. The YouTube channel link is in the Twitch stream at the about section, so you'll be able to follow through with that as well. Okay, so David, that's all the time we have for today. Thank you so much for this evening. It's been
thank you everyone
wonderful.
for your support.
Thank you. Okay, guys, let's say farewell to our friend David. Okay, and I'll share the link to his Facebook page in a bit, and I'll do a closing. And of course, I do have some announcements to make. David, if you are okay, I'll maybe you can just hang out a bit. I'll just put you on mute and move your screen to the other monitor. I'll just speak to the audience for a bit. Yeah. All right. Just give me a second. All right, David. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. Let's just put David over here. I need to share some wonderful announcements. Okay, so right now, okay, you can see it on the screen. We actually are looking at the PPS website, the Professional Photographers Association of Singapore website. Now, more than ever, because of the COVID-19 situation, the PPS is truly very important, especially if you're a photographer based in Singapore. Whether or not you are a hobbyist or a professional, it's good to see what the PPS has been up to. So, for example, there's this business calculator that right now it's more than ever very relevant to your business, especially for those of you guys who are working towards picking up your business once again in phase 2 of the circuit breaker. So this is actually the business calculator that James Tan has devised, and it's very useful for finding out how much you should be charging your clients and how much you should be saving up so you can actually survive. Okay, and especially now that all around the world it's a global pandemic, trying to make ends meet. Some of you guys are still shooting out there, and it can be a challenge trying to figure out how much you need to actually how much effort you actually need to put in and how much you actually need to earn before you can actually make a profit and survive till the end of the year. This calculator actually helps you with that. And of course, for those of you guys who are actually shooting commercially, it's always good to actually wrong button. It's always good to actually look at what PPS has provided in terms of resources. And in this case, we have the PPS resource page for photography production in Singapore during COVID-19. So for those of you guys who are wondering, this has been updated as recent as last month. They do have a quick guide here to help you understand what are some of the precautions you need to take in order to ensure that you have a safe photo shoot in studio or even in any situation. And most importantly, there is this safety protocol guidelines that you need to follow, because this is actually recognized by government agencies, and it's very important that you actually follow this so that you can keep everyone who is part of your shoot safe, including yourself, including your talent, your models, your makeup artists, your crew members, your assistants, your digitechs. Everyone involved in the shoot needs to be kept safe from this virus. And I think the most important thing, guys, is of course to ensure that, you know, at the end of the day, this pandemic ends, and it takes everyone's combined effort to make sure that we can safely move on to phase 3 and hopefully recover in time. And of course, right now I have some good news to share. For those full or affiliate members of PPS, you now can get worldwide professional indemnity insurance. Now, this is something that's really, really awesome. Hey, Murphy, good morning. Thanks for joining. It's actually evening now in Singapore. It's about 10 or 9 p.m. It's almost midnight here. So what's going on here, guys? So full and affiliate members of the PPS are now insured up to 1 million Singapore dollars for professional indemnity as part of their membership package. Now, after months of sourcing and negotiation with various insurance companies, the PPS finally found a good solution tailored to members of our profession. Now, this is very important, guys, because this insurance covers a lot of things. Okay, so for example, it protects the photographer from loss or damage relating to professional photography services, and it covers areas that a lot of professional photographers are vulnerable to, including penalty fees from job delays or loss arising from intellectual property infringements, etc. And I think there's a lot more details here, and of course, you know, I'm not going to go through every single one of them, but this is the most important thing: sub-limits of liability as well as the insurance details. So the policy type is basically professional indemnity, and you have a limit of liability of up to $1 million for any one claim or in the aggregate. Defense costs, of course, as a part of the limit of the indemnity. Excess of $2,500 Sing each and every claim, and there is this sub-limits of liability list that you can see, and it's really awesome to actually have this, because this actually is awesome. Okay. The territory-wise, unfortunately, does not include USA and Canada at the moment, but it does, you know, at least it does cover a lot of things. And James in the chat actually says that we have equipment insurance and public liability insurance in the works to be released soon. So the PPS actually has been working on this to actually spread the good word in terms of safety at work. Safety at work when it comes to professional photography. Because, guys, like it or not, in the world of professional photography, there are a lot of possible scenarios where you can actually dig yourself a grave that you can never get out from. So joining this association is actually, to be honest, one of the best things I've ever done in my life. I'm gonna put the link here. Oops, sorry, did I put the link for the... Sorry, give me a second. There we go, sticky fingers. Okay, I'm gonna put the link for the insurance page, as well as the link to join the PPS. This is how you can actually join the PPS. The link is up already. So only the full and affiliate members are able to receive that the insurance coverage. And for general member, full member, associate member, there are different tiers for membership in the PPS, and there are certain things that you need to look into. For example, there's annual fees and things like that. But really, guys, for an annual fee of $120 a year, that's literally like, I don't know, $120 is really nothing in the grand scheme of things. So if you are willing to spend $120 a year to get this kind of nice coverage that protects you overall when it comes to dealing with customers or clients, or even, you know, like what James has said, in terms of equipment and public liability insurance, it's a no-brainer, guys. For $120 a year, you can't get this kind of premium anywhere else. I'm with Prudential. I'm forking out like $300 a month, you know, just for my own insurance. But here, it's like what James said, 30 cents a day. What the actual freaking fish, you know, it's really super cheap, you know, and the coverage is tremendous. Oh god, I hate the word tremendous right now, but yes, it is tremendous, and I think it's really awesome to actually have this initiative by PPS. So thank you so much, James, and the rest of the Exco members who have put in so much effort during this time, despite the challenges of picking up your own business and running your own business during these insane times. Coming out with the resource page for the PPA, for the COVID-19 resource page, coming out with multi-tiered support for members of the PPS, and also of course with regards to the indemnity insurance and all that. It's truly something that is worth talking about, guys, because previously as a photographer, I just realized I'm not sure which camera I'm supposed to be looking to, because apparently the cables rewired wrongly. So this is my main cam now. Even looking at the wrong one. Okay, so this is something that's truly amazing, because the PPS is finally a voice that is heard. Okay, and more so especially during the COVID-19 period, a lot of photographers out there felt lost. A lot of freelance photographers fell through the cracks, not sure where to go, what to do. Imagine a bunch of sheep totally walking all over the place, trying to figure out where to go, not showing which farm to head back to, and no one actually being there to show them where to go. And this is a main problem. Freelance photographers really have no support or protection, but now with the PPS you can actually join in. You can learn more about the photography industry. You can learn more and understand more about what you need to look out for as a business operator, because ultimately, guys, being a photographer is more than just creating photos and making stories and taking snapshots of moments and making memories. I mean, all those are cliche stuff, but the reality of this is all those will not put food on your table unless you make it a business. Right? So whether or not you are in sales, whether or not you're making photos for other people, you're a hired photographer and things like that, you need to have a proper business that is able to make profit. And a business that is not making profit shouldn't be called business at all. That's charity. I shouldn't be saying that. That sounds very mean. But yes, do join the PPS. Check out what they have to say. Check out what they have in store, and do show your support for some of the activities that they have. In fact, I'm more than happy to show support for the PPS because of all the things that they have done for the photographers. And being an Exco member myself, I do see the kind of messages that come through from in the private message inbox for Facebook page for the PPS. A lot of photographers are constantly in need of help because they are still trying to find their path and trying to understand how things work in the grand scheme of things. So as a photographer, be responsible, take care of yourself, stay safe, and most importantly, consider joining the PPS so that you can be more protected. And of course, next week, Tuesday. So right now, okay, some of you guys are probably wondering what's going on right now. Why am I streaming on Friday evening? Well, that's because I've actually shifted all the streaming to Tuesdays and Fridays. I just want to have a live over the weekends. It's been very tough running this streaming show. Saturdays also has gotten almost virtually no viewers because I think everyone just want to have fun over the weekend instead of watching a guy with blonde hair talk for 2 hours. But it's great. I love streaming. I love spending this time with you guys, and I really hope that you guys can continue watching and follow and subscribe to this channel. There are certain things that are currently happening in the background, and some major announcements to be made as well. Right now, if you look at the chat window, you can actually see there are certain things that you can make me do. Alright, like for example, you can make me sing, or you can make me stand up for Singapore. I don't know what that is yet. I just realized I just anyhow make. You can even make me do push-ups. Yeah, for 5,000 points. If you have enough 5,000 points, I'll be doing 10 push-ups for you. That's called Knock It Down. They'll only be active next week onwards. So next Tuesday, I will actually go online on stream at 8 p.m. I don't have a guest this time. Every Tuesday is non-guest day, so every Tuesday I'm gonna do like a Capture One tutorial, a very simple one, so you guys can follow if you want. Sometimes I'll be doing a live workshop, so I'll be shooting products or whatever with lighting and just showing you guys some simple things that you can do at home. And next Friday we're gonna have next Friday we're gonna have Jose Julen from Singapore. He's a French photographer based in Singapore, and he's an ex-photographer with Fujifilm, and he's going to share a little bit more about his commercial photography works, as well as some of his epic portrait shots that he has been taking while traveling around the world. And that's something that you guys can look forward to. More on that episode on my Facebook page. So remember to follow my social media, which I'm going to share right now.
Satellite link established.
There you go. And I'll try my best to sort out my rewiring over the weekend, because right now this camera here, the one on the right, on the left, the main cam is kind of switched, and that could be the one. That could be the problem that was causing the freezes just now. So anyway, thank you so much for joining me this evening. It's been great. It's been wonderful. Thank you so much for your support as always. And again, a gentle reminder for those of you guys who are looking at getting a gaming chair or even a comfortable chair like mine right now by Secret Lab, you can head over here. Just scan the code, guys. Scan the code. It's free. The chair is not. Scan the code and you'll be taken to my affiliate link, and this is where you can actually make your first purchase with a gaming chair by Secret Lab. That's pretty awesome. I currently use a Titan. It has a very nice, comfortable feel. This is a soft width. The new one is very, very nice and gentle compared to my old Titan Edge, which was made of leather and it was really tough to, put on. But anyway, thank you so much for this evening. Till next Tuesday, stay safe, take care. I'll see you when I see you. Bye-bye. Oh no, audio's not working again. Okay, I'm fixing it now. Chotto mate kudasai. There we go. Enjoy the music. Bye.
In a world of pure imagination, take a look and you'll see into your imagination. We'll begin with a spin, traveling in the world of my creation. What we'll see will defy explanation.
On 3, 1, 2.